guys, this is Sheldon. Welcome back to iOSeTutorials. It's been a while that I couldn't find time to upload video tutorials. I really apologize for it. Today we're going to talk about something related to dynamic. Means we will focus on UITableView today, but we're going to do something to dynamically showing or dynamically changing the height of the table view rows as well as the height for table view headers. As usual, the final project will be available in GitHub and you can find the link down in the video description. So feel free to download it from GitHub. I hope you enjoy this video. Let's get started. Okay, so here we are at Xcode, and now let's create a single view controller. Let's call it dynamic height demo and create. So we're gonna delete our view controller.swift file, and in our main.storyboard, let's delete the view controller and simply drag and drop a UITableView controller, and let's set it to be the initial view controller, and we're going to create a file which will be UI subclass of UITableView controller, and let's simply keep the name as TableView controller, and let's hit create. So let's link our TableView controller with the same class name TableView controller, and currently we have the cells. Okay, so we're gonna do basic cell for the starting point. So let's choose our cell, click here, and we can choose basic cells. And in this case, we're going to have a title here. So for the title, which will be a label, so we're going to set the lines number to be 0. In this case, if it is multiple lines, it will automatically return different lines and make the full content to be shown. Okay, so don't forget to change these lines. If we come back to our UIView controller.swift, we're gonna find most of functions are already set there. We can simply delete the rest and only leave, self row at index path. And if you come back to UI storyboard and select the cell, we have to do one thing, which is to define the cell identifier. You can define whatever you want, but this string will be used in this dict reusable cell with identifier, and in here we're gonna set our text. Okay, actually it's very easy to make our table view rows to be dynamic with dynamic height. What we're gonna do is just write a line of code TableView dot estimate row height. In this estimated row height, you are able to give any value. Let's say 150, because this is just an estimated row height, but unfortunately you have to define it, otherwise it won't work. And for next line, you need to define is cell height or height for row height. Yes, will be UITableView automatic dimension. So adding this line, TableView.rowHeight is equal to UITableView automatic dimension, is actually setting something in the background that combined with this line to be 0, we are making the number of rows to be dynamic, and the height is dependent on the number of rows of the label in this current TableView row. Okay, so that's all we need. Okay, let's try to return 5 rows actually, and let's see, let's actually define something dynamic. Hello, I am the title, and let's simply run our project to see if every row, oh sorry, forgot one thing, We have to make the number of sections to be 1. Otherwise, if the number of sections is 0, no matter how many rows you're trying to return within this, it won't give you a damn thing. So you have to make sure you don't forget to change this number of sections to be 1. Okay, so currently we're having our hello, I am the title ready. So I mean, we only have 5 rows, but these following rows are still having these lines, which is really annoying. To make those rows to be disappear, we just use tableHeaderView is equal to UIView. This line is to define an empty view for the UITableView footer view to actually hide all these lines. So let's run our project again. Okay, now it's pretty clear that all those useless rows are removed. Okay, so let's do something to set our text to be quite long. Okay, so we're gonna create one array. Let text array is equal to some text. Okay, so let's open our website, which is iOSeTutorials.com. Yeah, I mean, I can change the settings later to let us to be able to copy and paste the values. Doesn't matter. Let's actually search. What are we gonna search? And we're coming to apple.com. And actually, let's copy and paste this paragraph to our array. Okay, so we copied 3 times, and let's actually remove part of them to make it a little bit different. Okay, so in this case, we're going to return number of rows with text array.count, and we can make our text label.text to be text array with our index path dot row. Let's simply run our project again. All right. So as you guys can guess, everything is set it up dynamically. Means the height of every row is different now. This is only works with the basic cell. Actually, it will be same for any custom defined cell as well. So we're gonna do that as well. Let's simply create a custom cell, UITableView cell, and let's call it cust TableView cell. And in our storyboard, let's simply drag a UITableView cell, and to make it more apparent, we can make a little bit difference on the background color to be maybe maroon. So we're gonna set our 2 labels actually. Let's say we're gonna have a UI label on top showing title. So we're gonna make this title to be static, and let's change the color of the label, or the text color of the label to be white. And let's make another label. This label, we're gonna have a descriptions, which will be having dynamic content, just like we did for the basic cells. And we're gonna, yes, we need to link with the class, which is cust TableView cell. Okay, and then we need to set the identifier cell cust, or a cust cell. Okay, and we need to do one more thing to drag and drop IBOLIs for our cust TableView cell. So we're gonna only need one description label, because the other one, actually we're gonna keep it static. So title will always be title here. Let's say disk label. And that's it. Oh, one thing, the most important thing here is to configure auto layout. When you have a custom cell, to fulfill the similar function, you have to set up the height relation, okay? So for the title, we have to set the top space, left space, whatever, right space, whatever, and this bottom space. In this case, we're setting top, left, right, and bottom. For the description, you cannot set the height because if you fix the height, this height cannot be changed dynamically. So we're expecting the height of the label to be changing dynamically. So we cannot set the height there, but we have to set the left and probably right to be 17, same as left and bottom. Okay, in this case, we're having left, right, and bottom, but not cell height. And for this title, we have to set cell height. Okay, this is doing whatever similar job as we have for the basic cell, but you can see some difference. Okay, and don't forget to set this label with 0 lines here, 0 lines here. And let's come back to our TableView controller class and let's change this cell. So we're gonna use cast cell now for the identifier, and we need to typecast this cell as cast TableView cell. So in this case, we will be able to access the property of this cell. I mean, the compiler is not taking it directly, but if you hit Command and B, it's when it's trying to compile, it will have this auto completion. Okay, cast.disklabel.text is equal to what we have there, which is text array.indexPath.row. So in this case, no matter whatever UI elements you have within a single TableView row, you can make your TableView height, row height, dynamically shown. Okay, just like what we are expecting. Title is static, but the rest is dynamically changing. Okay. So before we're moving to the next section of the video tutorial, I really want to ask you a very simple question that, do you really understand the whole layout for TableView? If I ask you a question to let you list the UI elements from the top to the bottom of UITableView, can you list them up? I will give you like 10 seconds to think about the answer, again. So the question again is, from the top to the bottom of a UITableView, can you list all the UI elements there? Okay, so I will give you like 10 seconds to think about it. So the answer is, from the top to the bottom, it will be table header view, section header view, section rows, section footer view, and table footer view. So don't forget, there will be a table header view and table footer view on the top and bottom, and don't forget you will have a section header view and footer view as well. So only in between the section footer view and section header view will be our table view rows. Okay, so in the second part of the video tutorial, we're gonna change, or we're gonna do something on the table header view only. So let's get started. So if we come back to our UI storyboard, and let's actually create a UI view, and we can simply drag and drop here as well on top. Okay, it looks like we're dragging a cell, but actually we're dragging a UI view. Okay, so if we change our background color, probably like this, to make it a little bit apparent as well, and we're gonna have our label again. Of course, we can set the label to be with some auto layout like 12 or 15 or 17, 17, 17, and 17. In this case, our label is like expanded along with the whole UI view. We can expand it a little bit. Okay. Let's change the color of the text to be white again. So let's come back to our TableView.Swift. The functions we're going to use has to be written in view data appear. So I will explain it later. Let's write it first. Override func view data appear. And don't forget to invoke super.viewData appear animated. Also, we need to drag and drop IB audits if you don't mind here. Header view. And we're gonna need this label called header disk label. So let's actually first define the text for header disk label as this long thing, probably dot text. And next we're gonna do our magic job. Actually, it's very simple. So first we're gonna define a size to be header view dot system layout fitting, and what we're gonna fitting is UI layout fitting compressed size. This means we're trying to fit the fittest size of header view, but the thing is, since the header view has a quite long label inside, that's the reason why this size is dynamic. Okay, so now I will explain you why we have to put this line in this view data appear, because before view data appear, let's say if we put this size or this line in view data load or view appear, actually the size is trying to fit the width first, which will be very long, but the height, it will be one line. But once we have load our view, this means our screen is ready. So the height will be dynamic. The width of the screen is already fixed. So for example, if we are invoking iPhone 7, the width is just as simple as this long. But if we're invoking for iPhone 5, it must be shorter. But the point is, when the function of view data appear invoked, the width is set, and in that case, we will try to fit the height instead. And that's the reason why we have to put this in the view data appear. Okay, so the size is now updated, and next line we just simply make header view.frame.size equal to the size that we just dynamically adjusted. And we can set our TableView.TableHeaderView is equal to header view only. And if we run our project only, we will be able to see, okay, now the height of the header is also dynamically changed. So it's still showing one line. I think we have made a mistake. Let's check our storyboard. Yeah, here we go. Actually, we're still setting the lines of the label to be one only. In this case, no matter what job we're trying to do, it will only return one line. So don't forget to change that. And let's run our project again. Okay, now the header looks pretty much correct. That will wrap up our tutorial today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you find this video helpful. Also, the most important thing is to subscribe. So stay tuned to our channel, and we're gonna keep posting interesting videos related to iOS. One thing that I want to mention that we just got more than 1,000 subscriptions. Actually, it's approaching 1,100 already. So I really want to say thank you to all of the subscribers. Also I want to thank you for watching this video as well. We're not there yet. We don't have much subscription, but at least we're on the right track. So I hope we can keep doing awesome work and gain knowledge on iOS, and let's get better together. Alright, see you in next tutorial. Peace.